What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Endless, here to bring you another draft league. Before I get started on this, I do apologize about LGA videos not coming up too frequently. I'm just going to make a movie at the end of that. But for now, let's get into our new draft league. So I have joined an upload required league like LTM was and like a couple others I've done. So this is Draft Jam. It's run by Keegan, fellow old gen enthusiast. Both him and Kaz, who are the two commissioners of the Emerald Open, are playing in it. They're also running this league. For those who don't know, Emerald Open is the biggest Gen 3 tournament. It's a lot of fun every year. Highly recommend it. And on that topic, I also let people know that I'm running my tournament, which is the Gen 4 tournament version of that. So feel free to DM me on Discord if you want more info or ask in the comments. But back to the main topic, which is Draft Jam. So this league is basically meant to be a slightly lower power level. They banned like 10 to 15 mons, so kind of like EDC, but less extreme. So it should be interesting. We have 110 points for 10 mons, 25 Terra points. So pretty basic stuff. Open Terra preview. But what can I do? I'll go over some of the coaches. So first off, I have some friends of mine from over in LAT. We got Horizon, coach of the Arizona Cardinals. TJP, coach of Montreal, and Goldoa Dragon, coach of New York Empoleon. All people I know pretty well from that community. It's the league I posted my championship of I think it was a few months ago. But yeah, I love that league's great community, so I'm happy so those guys got in here. We have some people who you might remember from LTM, Amol, It's Whatever, Keegan, I think T-Ro was in this season, he might not have been, and Tony. We guys mentioned Kaz, the commissioner of Emerald Open, great player and very excited about him. Ducky, who I got to know in a UPA a while back. And then we've got Jungavis, which is the Poke Professor, who I don't really know, but I'm excited to get to be in Balin. And finally, Mark and Maractus from Glop, who is one of the best players in the showdown scene right now. This is his first foray into Wi-Fi, so hopefully when I play him early, he's not adjusted yet. We'll see. Because once he adjusted, I'm really nervous of that one. But for that, I guess we can get into the team itself. So as I said, 110 points for exactly 10 Pokemon, not 9 to 11, so that's a little annoying. Makes it a little harder to budget perfectly, but we'll see how it goes. And let's start with my draft spot. So I was pick 9 because, of course, I was pick 9. Every upload week I've done, I'm exact middle. You're one before, one after, like the halfway point. So I was pick 9, which isn't great. I got sniped a lot, as expected when you're pick 9, but I'm still like somewhat okay with the draft I got. So we'll see how it turned out. I'll show you all what I have. So let's go to showdown. We'll start with my first round pick, which was PECHARUNT. So PECHARUNT is a really interesting Pokemon. It's the best spin blocker in the format outside Go and Go, but even it's arguably better than Go and Go depending on the opposing spinner. It's super fat, super good offensively, willing to chain being such a high base power stab and such a strong secondary effect. Nasty Plot to boost it up. It's a really solid glue piece to start the team with. So be a really strong physical defensive wall. Checks a lot of scary stuff like fairies and fightings. So PECHARUNT's really good. I got round 1 because I really wanted to get a specific Pokemon round 2. I thought Gliscor would get back. I really want to try Terra Gliscor in this league. It's looked really cool in all the leagues I've watched it in, and it looks really fun. Unfortunately, it went shortly before me in round 2, surprisingly, just by only being 11 points. So the round 1 PECHARUNT was kind of a throw at that point because I didn't get the spiker I wanted, but I think it still fits on his team pretty well. So hopefully I can still make it work. Although I do kind of regret taking it round 1. I think round 1 might be a bit early. Albeit it could have gone to like the Tingu team and been really disastrous. But yeah, I like PECHARUNT. It was a lot of fun when I used it on EDC. It's a very customizable Pokemon. So yeah, it's pretty good. Moving on to round 2, we have our first Terra Captain. And something I can't believe made it back to me mid-round 2 is Terra Urshifu Rapid Strike. I think this is definitely one of the best Terra Captains on the board. It costs 17 points for a reason. Also, Mastermind costs 16. So Caspar, would cost 17, and this Pokemon is just a monster. Like, Terra Water and Terra Fighting are so hard to switch into. Terra Electric, Fairy, etc. Lots of coverage types make it really hard to deal with. Even like defensive Terra Slate set up a Bulk Up or a Source Dancer or a Trailblazer are really nice. I've never actually used Urshifu Rapid, at least if I did, it was in Gen 8. It's been a long time. So I'm really excited to try it. I think it's pretty good. Overall, it's definitely a solid pick. I also just fight because it's primary fighting, right? Okay, so, but anyway, decent move pool. It has another momentum, so we have Parting Shot from PECHARUNT and U-Turn from Urshifu, so that could be useful just to get in our Pokemon easily. Also, Priority Aqua Jet is really nice. It's really strong priority, especially if I Terra Water. And as you'll see where my team isn't particularly fast, so having access to that's really appreciated. Because we want to pick 3, we got one of my favorite support Pokemon in the format, Starfire the Screamtail. I used this in my LET Championship run. It was fantastic. Encore, Stealth Rock, all the fun jazz. Baton Blast for Momentum, Wish to keep mons like that we'll see where are healthy. It's just good. Like, keeping on offensive sets with setup moves. It's pretty solid. There's not much to say about Screamtail. It does what it does. Like, it's not flashy, but it comes in Encore stuff, T-Wave stuff, sets up screens maybe, sets up Trick Room potentially, and just annoys the hell out of the opponent and gets in my other pieces to really win an end game. Yeah, it's the speed is really nice. As so far, my fast mon was Shifu, so having something above 100 is really nice, especially over 110. Yeah, unfortunately, all my Pokemon so far have been kind of boring. There's not much to talk about. Yeah, securing my Fairy early is really nice. Just gives me a good Dragon check. Even though I already have Fightings covered with PECHARUNT'S, so it's just a really good support mon. Like, it will perk everything else I pick up even better. Yeah, it's just great mon, very simple, but very effective. Round 4, we picked Donphan. Technically, I actually picked Tentacruel because the person who picked Donphan forgot they already had a ground type. So we made a mid-draft trade, which is allowed, which I find very odd, but we'll take it. So essentially, I got round 4 Donphan. I need a spinner. If I'm going to Hazard Stack with Pecharunt, which we will see later, I need a spinner. I cannot be relying on Defog for removal. So that's what this does. It's a good electric check for Urshifu. Decent offenses. Like, if you invest in these Earthquakes do pack a punch. More priority and Ice Shard is nice. And again, Encore because that's the best move in the game. And it's my first Hazard Sarah, which you could say, why did you wait till round 4 to get a Hazard Sarah with Pecharunt? And you'd be right. That was not smart of me. Because all the really good spikers were gone. But it does have rocks, which is appreciated. In addition, it's our first knockoff user. It's going to be really important because we need to knock off Rocky Helmets for Shifu if I don't want to run pads. We need to knock off Covert Cloaks for Pecharunt to be able to poison things. And also knock off Clear Amulets so they can't block my parting shot. There's a lot of items that my team forces, and getting able to knock them off such a reliable knocker as Donphan's really nice. Also, knocking off Boots is obviously great for my hazards. So I think really knockoff is going to be the key with this Pokemon. It gets a lot of cool moves, but I fully expect to be running knockoff every game just because the removal of items is so vital to this team specifically. Of that, we move on to pick 5. We finally got our Spiker. All the good ones are gone, so I picked up Skarmory again. I used it in LTM, didn't really like it, but I need a Spiker. It was the best defensive Spiker yet left, so I took it. Skarmory's not great, that's channel, to be honest. It's so passive, but gets some spikes, it can whirlwind stuff. It roosts, it bypasses, it can iron defense maybe. I don't think I ever ran that in LTM, but it theoretically could. Yeah, I'm not a Skarmory fan this gen, but I need the spikes. It is what it is. Like, its stats just have not kept up. Even the physical defense, like, it was only 65 HP. Some strong physical attackers 2-hit KO it, especially if they're boosted. Skarmory just hasn't kept up, which is sad because I love Skarmory. It's a really cool Pokemon. But, it is what it is. Yeah, so it's okay. It does what I need it to do. It gets spikes up. It's all I need it to do is get spikes up, and then if somebody tries to come in and set up on it, I can go into Screamtail and Encore it, which does help prevent the passivity a little bit. So, it's not the worst fail on this team, even if I don't love it here. I will say, it not being an Ice Resist is really annoying, because my Ice Resist right now is Urshifu, which is not great. Same thing with Screamtail not being a Dark Resist, because, again, I don't want to be switching Urshifu into stuff. Moving on to round 6, we got another big breaker. We got Ogerpon Heartflame. Following up, the other 3 Ogerpons went back to back to back in, like, round 3 or round 2. But this lasted a while, and I'm really excited to use it. I think Heartflame pairs really well with Urshifu in terms of offensively. Like, yes, I guess Dragons kind of sit on them, but other than that, like, these two are just great breakers for each other. They can both U-turn into each other as well on their checks. Because some of the best checks to Ogerpon are, like, Terra Fire stuff. And so I can just U-turn into Urshifu and Surgery Strike. So the best checks to Urshifu are Water and Grass types. I can U-turn into Ogerpon to take advantage of those. It does get spikes, so, like, theoretically, if I need a more offensive spiker instead of Skarmory, I can do that. But really, it's just here break. Like, that's its main role. It gets another Encore. It gives me good speed in 110, which is nice. Yeah, it's just good. Like, that's everybody on this team except the Skarmory. I don't like Skarmory. But, like, my team, unfortunately, is very linear so far, which I'm not a fan of. Like, I would have liked more versatile mons, but it's just how it fell out. But this thing does have a few sets, like, between breaking, cleaning of, like, Swords and Trailblaze, spiking, Encore support, stuff like that. It's solid. It's not the Ogerpon I would have preferred. I kind of wanted to get Cornerstone early or Wellspring, but Those both went super early before I even got the Screamtail, so no luck there. Yeah, but again, more speed, more offense, and more spikes is nice as an option. On to second part of our team. So I realized I really need an Ice Resist, and also I needed more. I need Ice Resist was the big one. And also, there were just very few high point Pokemon left, so I really wanted to get something, to add some more power to my team. And we got Metagross. It's another Steel type, is pretty good, not like amazing, but it gets me more rocks, which is always appreciated, more priority. And Bullet Punch, it just hits pretty hard. 135 attack is still good when you're using moves like Heavy Slam and Psychic Fangs, which hits pretty hard. It can rocks as another knockoff user like Ogerpon and a Donphan, which again, knocking off items is huge. Rocks is great. Honestly, I think you come up a lot more than you might see is Trick. I think Trick with like a Choice Scarf is going to be really good on this thing, just because it really helps with the speed issues my team has, as well as crippling stuff and taking off their defensive items that check me, like protective pads, not like Rocky Helmet. So this could be very good. I'm really excited to use Metagross. I don't think I've used it on Wi-Fi yet. I haven't used it much this gen at all. I did win a tournament with Mega Metagross at the very start of the gen, but it didn't have any of its buffs. So no knockoff, no Heavy Slam, no Psychic Fangs. It was like just Gen 8 Mega Metagross at that point in Gen 9. But yeah, it's very solid. It's quite good. It's a big stat stick, which as you know so far, my team is actually doing pretty good on stat sticks. We have like 600, Urshifu's like 560-ish, 570, Donphan's like 500, it's not bad. Skarmo's not great, I think it's like 485, 470, something like that. Ogerpon's there 600, Metagross 600, so like, we have raw stat sticks, which I do think is going to be relevant in this format with the lower power level. Just having the raw stats to invest in and take its and dish out damage is really appreciated. Next up we have my Terra Captain, Zoroark Hisui. So I've never used this thing, but actually no, I think I used it in my league BPL at the very start of Gen and dropped it, maybe? I don't remember. But this thing's really cool. It gives me more speed, which I need. Unfortunately, it's again 110, so I don't have great elite speed, which is not ideal. But it's an insanely good Scarfer, which is appreciated on this team, because my Fastmon's Ogerpon can't run a Scarf because it needs the Heartflame Mask, and Screamtail really doesn't want to. I mean, I can see a matchup where it could, but like theoretically, it really does not want to run a Scarf. So this gives me a great Scarfer, decent breaker like Nasty Pod and Specs and stuff. More knockoff, which is great. Some utility of Will-O-Wisp. It's a fast Taunter, which is also something I didn't really have yet, so that's really appreciated. It gives me a second spin blocker, so if there's certain matches where I can't spin with block with Pecharunt, maybe this thing can work. But it's mostly here's an offensive piece. It's just really strong offensively and gives me more speed and a really good Scarfer. It's my second Terra Captain. It's not like an amazing Terra Captain, but it was like this or Araquanid. And Araquanid, I don't think Terra Araquanid makes sense on the same team as a Terra Shifu. I think it is a little better. I may change that later, who knows. But yeah, I think Terra Zoroark Hisui is going to do some work, especially in matches where Urshifu doesn't need a Terra. This being able to just Terra into a stab type potentially and click a button and do a lot of damage, especially when opponents aren't really expecting it, because before I Terra I'm still disguised. It's really good. So I'm excited to use Zoroark. It should be fun. Round 9 we have Talonflame. So this is a Endless Gadget staple. I used to use it a ton back in Gen 7 and 8. It's a solid defensive mon with Flame Body, but it's also offensive with Wings, which is really nice because the strong priority is super huge on this team. It also gives me defog in case I need to remove hazards, but I mainly got this for elite speed. It also has like fast Willows, fast Taunts, which helps. Even just fast Brave Birds and Flare Blitzes can do good damage to things, even though its attack stat is kind of low. I just need elite speed at this point. There was nothing left. Like, it was this or like Kilowattrel or something. I really didn't like Kilowattrel about Terra, Jolteon. Like, those were options, and none of them seemed great because they kind of hog Terra, and I can't Terra my Urshifu. So Talonflame seemed like the best thing left, so I just grabbed this. I do like Talonflame. I don't think it's good in Gen 9 as in previous gens, but I do think it's still solid. I think I can make it work really well. It's a mon I have a lot of experience with. So hopefully it does well for me. As I said, it's an Endless Gadget staple from older gens. I used it a lot in Gen 7 and a ton in Gen 8. So it's definitely one I'm comfortable with. We'll see how well it performs. And finally, we do have Araquanid. So Araquanid gives me webs, which as you notice, it seems pretty slow, so that's nice. Also gives me it gives me fire and water resist, which I really did not have yet. My fire resist were Urshifu and Talonflame. My water resist were Urshifu, so it's obviously not good. So Araquanid gives me a really good check to strong fire types and water types like Chiyu and Palathin. So that's appreciated. That's his main role here. I mean, webs are nice. It can also may do some damage with like liquidation and stuff, but realistically, that water type offense is gonna be left to Urshifu. It's mainly here just for webs and checking certain threats, which I think is good enough. It's not great, but it was only 6 points, so it's fine. But you all know I did make a transaction go to week 2. I realized my team is just insane with the dark types. You look here, my dark Wizard Shifu. So I ended up dropping a Talonflame and just accepting the elite speed. I ended up picking up Conkeldurr, which I'm not going to show right now, but gives me more priority and just gives me a really fat dark resist, which I need on this team. So that's going to be coming in week 2, but we'll see if Talonflame comes week 1. Maybe it does work. I do wish I had elite speed. Now I'm dropping it. But with stuff like Booster, Screamtail, Scarf, Zoroark, and Webs, I think I should be okay. I have really good Scarfers on this team, or Scarfer Shifu too, so hopefully I can make it work. But I will say elite speed lacking is kind of annoying. I do wish I would still have it, but the only thing I could realistically drop for Conk was Talonflame. I was considering dropping the Oracle, but I wouldn't have Fire Water Resist. I was considering maybe picking up like Poliwrath, but getting with Poliwrath or Shifu on the same team felt really bad. But maybe that was the play. Honestly, I'm not sure. I'll think about it. But yeah, so I might end up dropping like this for Poliwrath later, and then dropping Conkeldurr for more elite speed. We'll see how things go. But that's the team. Unfortunately, at the end, I did have 4 points left over, which is the most I think I've ever had left over in a draft. I only used Warrior 6 and 110. I'm not happy about that. It just how it ended up. Just too many high point mons when I couldn't fill in my rolls with just the expensive shit left, which is unfortunate. But 4 points isn't the end of the world. I think I still have there's 3 people used all this, 1 persist, 3 of them, and me at 4. So most people used even less than me, which is mind blowing to me. Still kind of, I don't want to say ashamed, but disappointed myself for not managing to use all my points or even get within 1 or 2. But it is what it is. I think the team's pretty solid. It's not my favorite team ever. It is kind of like my team in LTM, where I think I'm just going to have to get used to it. I got sniped a lot. I'm using a lot of things some things I'm comfortable with, some things I'm not. And just the synergy isn't there like in LTM. I didn't really love it. So hopefully I can make it work. I'm still decently happy with it. I'm excited to prep of this team for sure. Definitely, as I mentioned, some FAs I might make. I'm definitely dropping the Talonflame for Conkeldurr. I might drop Araquanid for Poliwrath later and drop Conkeldurr for maybe pick back up Talonflame if I'm not allowed to do that. Maybe pick up Jolteon or Kilowattrel or something. We'll see. But yeah, it's a pretty solid team. Actually, I think is Norman still on the board? That might be. Noivern is on the board, so maybe that'll be what I pick up. I don't know. We'll figure it out later. Even though Noivern does give me a fire or water resist, unfortunately, it's not great it's not great defense. But even with Roost, it just doesn't take the hits well enough from really strong fires and waters. Especially because most waters get ice coverage anyway. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see how this goes. Don't be surprised if I do make more FAs later outside the Talonflame and Conkeldurr. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. It's not the best thing I've drafted, not even close. It's probably not even my best team. Upload required Wi-Fi leagues, although none of those have been very good teams except EDC because I always get freaking middle pick. But I'm gonna do my best with it. There's some strong competition in this league, so I definitely want to give it my all. Maybe I'll even mock for once because I mocked a little bit for LTM. I don't mock very often for Wi-Fi, but maybe I'll do it for this league. We'll see. So yeah, there's the team. Thank you all for watching. As a reminder, since check out Emerald Open, owned by Keegan and Kaz. They're great guys. Check out Distortion Draft Tournament, my tournament, which is starting soon. Actually, wait, now I'm thinking about the signups will be closed by the time I post this video. But feel free to still come check it out. You might be able to be a replacement and stuff. And check out all the other coaches, of course. All 14 of us are great people. I'm really excited for everyone in this league. And check out the Discord as well. Check out Discord as well. There's lots of cool people who've joined so far. So keep up with Draft Jam. This should be a very enjoyable time. With that, have a good day, evening, morning, or night. And I've been Endless Gadgets. Peace.